Welcome back to my channel. I'm Cheyenne and this is Cheyenne New. Today's special guest is Sophia.
Hello, I'm Sophia. Me and Cheyenne were old high school friends.
Not old, just high school friends. Don't.
We've been friends for a very long time.
Yeah.
That's in summary.
You know how like black doesn't crack. I don't need people thinking like I'm 45 or something.
But we're not 45. We're we're not even in our mid-20s yet.
So how's it going? What's up?
It's going well. I pretty much just went to a trampoline park today and just came home. There's not really much of anything to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's up for like Aunt of the Year for paying over $50 for child entertainment. What happened to Chuck E. Cheese?
That's closed apparently, so that's like the only thing that just had a grand opening. So I'm feeling neutralized. We're just going through the day-to-day thing. There's not really much of anything to use. So you get used to it. What about you? Have you gotten used to it, or is it just...
It's like, I've gotten so used to it that I regret going back to work. I'm like, where's the unemployment money? I don't want to go. I don't want to be here. And then I went back to school, and so I'm in classes right now.
You're in school again? You really were going to go for your master's? Okay.
No. It's my third bachelor's degree.
In what this
theater.
Time? In theater this time?
Yes. So
Jesus Christ.
I'm probably not going to stay for the 2 years because I already have like my general course done. So it will only take a year and a half. But I'm mostly only in it for like the production stuff, like learning how to edit better, because having a YouTube channel is cool, but I don't know half the stuff that like I'm capable of.
That's true.
So I'm staying for like a semester or two.
Just to pick up some few things, and then just go out on it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I feel you on that. I did the same fucking thing with Richie.
Yeah, it's like I need you for this expertise and
that's it. Yeah. I'm not going the whole way there. That makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm technically a theater major, but I'm taking 3 film classes. So Sophia, my esteemed guest, please pick the first topic.
Okay, let's see.
I almost said my Sophia.
What will it take to start a revolution? Huh.
Yeah, because I was thinking the other day, I was like, man, Trump has lied. He's done so much. And people are still like, my life's not affected. I don't really care. So I'm like, what does it take? What will it take to make people walk outside of their door all simultaneously and be like, no?
Dude, I would think the situation that we're in now, because as I said, like, this is the first time that like there's been in our lifetime there's been some global event. It's not even about like domestic this or any sort of movement or whatnot. This is affecting the whole world, and the US is one of the world powers. So I mean, look at the people. Look how everybody's acting now. A lot of people are tensed up. They can't really go anywhere. The restaurants close at like 5 o'clock. Like, it's making everybody rowdy. I think with all this stuff's going on, you push a few buttons and maybe you can start a revolution, because people are now seeing what's,
My thing is, like, for example, my boss, she's not affected by Trump at all. She's not really affected by any of the stuff that's going on. Her and her girls are doing a Girl Scout yard sale tomorrow. Mm-hmm. She's doing her regular life. Everything is just, what would it take for you to literally run out your door and be like, we're fixing this right now?
This? What do you mean? This whole thing that's going on now.
But like literally, like which event? Because it's not like we've done that yet. It's not like we're marching outside our door with a bullhorn. Everyone gather around. We're fixing justice. So like, what do you think it would take you individually to like buy a bullhorn and like start being an activist?
Well, I mean, if I see that in some way, okay, I would say freedom of speech. When I start to see that, and I mean, it's already, no matter if you like Trump or not, or if you like this person or that person, you're liberal or conservative or whatnot, if you like, there's two opposites and y'all have a conversation, you're like judging people for it and hating them for having their opinion, that's like killing freedom of speech. And that goes for a lot of stuff. So
okay, I agree with the first part, but I disagree on like the second part, where I do believe I only remember the part that I disagree with. So I disagree that not liking someone else's opinion is against freedom of speech. But I do agree that a limitation to my freedom of speech would definitely make me more active in government. Because
yes, that's what I meant. Like, it's not so much as it's like if you have something opposite of someone and you're expressing that to someone and you're getting the backlash you're getting is someone like trying to be violent with you, or like you're putting your life at risk. Like you see it with the protests and whatnot, the Trump supporters are not, there's a lot of violence going on, and it's just, I'm expressing something that may you not agree with or whatever, but the fact that it's turning violent like 99% of the time, that's where, you know, that imbalance is coming from.
That part I agree with. I thought you were meant like if you're in a classroom and you're having a discussion that one Republican starts saying, well, only 1% of people are dying, then I'm not going to like that person. But I didn't see that as an invasion of freedom of speech, but I'm also not going to start kicking them. You know, I'm not going to be like, say that shit again. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. Well,
yeah. Do you have any other thoughts? What do you think the revolution will look like? Because I think it'll be bad. It'll look
White
bad.
House in flames.
Oh no. Yeah, get rid of that shit. You know, just if you're the president, stay at your own house. Nobody needs to have 1,600 rooms or whatever, and it's built on slavery, and get rid of it.
Yeah, jeez. Good luck with that.
Yeah, stay at a hotel.
Good luck with that.
You're the new London Tipton.
That White House been around for a while. A long while.
We can get rid of anything. Like anything. We can get rid of presidents. We can be like, I would like to elect a group of officials to run this country. We now have a council of presidents.
Jeez, I don't know. I would feel, I don't know, having like I don't even know what class that would be. That wouldn't be like a monarchy.
Yeah,
that would be like a...
I was thinking of authors roundtable. But the biggest problem is that the majority of Americans don't want this. You know, like half of white people voted for Trump. It's just facts. So socialism isn't gonna work. Anarchy is not really gonna happen. It's like, oh, what will it take for a revolution? It would probably be something that offends white people. A limit on the number of pets you can have. Fees for letting your cat outside. Being arrested for letting your dog off the leash. There's many of things that we can do to target white people specifically.
That's funny. But those are true.
Outlawing dreads on white people. That's an official fine now.
That is funny. But that is true.
Yeah. We'd be like, you can't go camping anymore. You're a hazard to the environment. Yo, once people started conserving energy, that's when white people will start to revolt. Once we take global warming seriously, they're gonna be like, nah. Now it is time for Did You Hear? Sophia, did you hear something about unemployment that you wanted to talk about?
Yes. My question is, how long is the unemployment gonna last? That's all I want to know. Is it gonna last until a few months or until the end of the year, like they're saying? It's like going up and down. We just don't know what's going on. It's very confusing. And I want to know is I'm gonna get my money.
So I've been looking into it because I also want to know when will I get this money? And okay, so from what I've read, some states like Maryland and DC some states got approved for 6 weeks of $300 extra a week from unemployment. And then some states like North Carolina only got approved for 3 weeks.
Oh gosh.
And
See,
then-
that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't even vary. Okay, it's the United statewide. It's like, oh, in this state it is, and that's what causes the confusion.
It's very.
So I don't know what the heck is going on.
Yeah, because I've been looking into it, so I was like, are we going to extend the lost wages? And I've been Googling, and like one article I read that said like Governor Roy Cooper said there's probably not enough funds for additional week. But then I've read other things where we've been approved for it, but like we just don't know how much funds are left. Because they're like not telling us. And a lot of people haven't received the money.
They're trying to be stingy. That's all it is.
That's
it's
literally
like,
what it is.
Pandemic started and everybody's going into stingy mode. And it's so crazy because other places around the world that's like probably less off are giving their citizens like, what, $2,000 a week or at least something close to that. And we're supposed to be the United States.
That's why we have to vote. Like, I hate to be like, so like, we gotta go vote. But it's like states that are like Democratic majority,
Yeah.
they are the ones who are getting these 6 weeks that have protections in place that already had higher unemployment. Whereas states like North Carolina that's like mixed and has Republican senators right now, our unemployment has been stripped. And it's like super lower than it was like 10 years ago, even though inflation. And it's just like so much is happening all because of political parties. And I'm just like, let us breathe.
That's true. But I think that's what's going to sum up the whole election year. It's going to be about who is who going to do to get this virus thing under control. And that's why everybody's like, oh my God, we should vote because now we're in crisis mode, I guess.
I mean, I've always said vote because if people had voted in 2016, this would not have happened. This would not have
because
happened.
they said the same thing, like, oh, it's the lesser of the two evils, and like, oh, we're screwed either way.
I'm just like, how did you have such a problem with Hillary Clinton and not Bill Clinton? Okay, Bill Clinton did so much and he was elected. Hillary Clinton was so much better than Bill, and she did win the popular vote.
She's a woman. She wasn't going to get in office, unfortunately.
That's what my brother said.
No,
that's what my brother said.
If they just had a freaking black guy in office for 8 years, you really think they was going to let a woman lead the country?
They should have.
They should have.
That's why I get upset sometimes when like the people that want socialism are like, y'all let Bernie down. I can't believe y'all did this, blah, blah, blah. Because it's like, well, the majority of people just didn't want it. Like, the majority of people don't want what's best for us. They want what's best for them.
That's true. I keep telling people, watch The Handmaid's Tale. If y'all thinking the whole, like, they call it the Me Too movement and whatnot, that book was made in, 1980 something? And they were already talking about the Me Too movement. Everybody's like now coming out and saying, oh, somebody's doing whatnot. If you watch the show, it has parallel stuff, especially to what's going on this year. It's quite scary.
That is scary.
A lot of the stuff that's going on, like especially this year and during Trump's inauguration, like the book was made like over 30 years ago and they're predicting stuff that's happening right now.
Okay, that is what I wanted to talk about. So people on Twitter are now outraged that Trump knew about coronavirus back in February, January. Even though we knew about that February, January. I was
But they said it's been around. They said it's been around since like November or something of last year. That's why it's called COVID-19.
Yeah,
it happened in 2019.
Like the first cases of it in America showed up in like December.
Yeah, I think a lot of people said they had it, but around November-ish time or whatnot, and they just felt really bad or whatever. But I mean. It says COVID-19, like that pretty much proves it. If it wasn't called COVID-20, but yeah, this stuff it's been crazy a little bit. Like it's like now I think the symptoms are like you lose your smell and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
And some people lose their sense of taste.
Yeah.
Some people have like lung issues afterwards. children get something like smallpox. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And then
And back in freaking February and stuff, when this stuff, before it got really big, like they were telling workers not to wear masks because it'll make the other customers feel afraid. I'm like, y'all know this is not like a joke, but
yeah, you were one of the first to start wearing masks and gloves. Like, you did it before I did it, and I'm usually pretty smart and cautious.
my boyfriend was telling me about it, like, I think back in November time, like, when I went to see him in New York, he was already telling me, like, hey, we shouldn't go to fancy restaurants with a lot of rich people because there's something
They
going
got
on
it
in
from
China.
Europe. Yeah, like
Yeah,
people call it the
all the
Chinese
rich
version,
people.
but
Yeah, they do business and stuff like that and consultant for these international companies, and yeah, they go over there. They'll be the first one to get it because they're able to afford that, like, to go over there and have business meetings. So
yeah.
yeah.
So now I'm going to pick our second topic and see what we're going to talk about. Do you want to have children?
Oh, I don't know. Not now.
Ditto.
Maybe when things clear up, or years after things have been cleared up.
Yeah, you don't want it to be like a top. Wait, no. Crap. What's that gas chamber? Forget.
Yes. Oh.
Toronto? Wait, no.
A gas
Charlie-
chamber?
It's like that city that had the radioactive thing.
Oh, Chernobyl.
Yeah, I was like, you don't want it to be like Chernobyl, like have a child because you think everything's okay, and
Then it's not okay.
it's not okay. It's
Your
radioactive.
child, right, grows up with 80 heads.
Ill. So like, I definitely don't want to have children right now, but if I were to have children, I also don't want to physically have children at all, like in my life, ever. I don't want to give birth naturally. I don't want no C-section. I don't even want to be able to throw the thing up. My body is not the ride for you. But I am willing to adopt or be a great step-parent.
Adoption is a lot of money.
Yeah, if I'm having children, I better have a lot of money. I don't want my children to want for anything. You've got your play dolls, you've got your video games, you've got your books, you've got your college fund. I want my child to have absolutely everything. So if I'm not financially stable enough to adopt children, I'm definitely not gonna have any.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
My plan, like, I wouldn't want to have children unless I'm like 60K at least in savings.
I thought you were about to say 60 years old.
No.
Yeah.
60K, like, just in savings, so I'll be able to afford everything and I could still work. So I'm still putting the equation back in a work.
Definitely gotta have a savings to have a baby, because I'm like,
People don't. They just sit there and go, "Oh, well, this happened."
God forbid my baby gets leukemia or something. I'm not waiting around for St. Jude's. Listen, save my baby immediately,
Right.
promptly.
Right. Yeah. People, I don't know. You know what? Wouldn't that be a better idea that the government to have? Like, they have to for every child that's born, they should have like a diagnostic of the parent. Like, are you capable of it?
Well, then we would get into eugenics, and it's like, it's really weird because on one hand, I wholeheartedly believe some people just should not have children, but on the other hand, we have no right to stop them.
I don't know. I mean, name the notorious serial killers we have. And then all that starts from their parents and what their parents did to them, and that could mess up with someone's mind.
So you need to take a psych eval to have children?
Heck yeah.
Oh man. That sounds, oh man.
Not just like we're really gonna pick into your brain, but just like, are you going to get stressed out in time and abuse your kids or whatnot? Like, not like, all right, we need you to
Yeah.
Plug these up to you.
In a perfect world where there's no racism or ableism and stuff like that, and then you had to apply to have children, like adoption, but with your uterus, I would like that, yes. Like, you cannot physically have a baby until you're approved by the government. No, that sounds bad. That sounds real bad. That
sounds like a dystopia, another dystopia.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's like there's no good way of saying don't get pregnant. So one thing I want to do is like, I want to bring a bunch of like snacks and drinks to Planned Parenthood and hand them out to the people going inside, because there's always people yelling from the outside like, you're killing your baby, blah, blah, blah. So I want to be like, it's okay, here, have a snack, replace that weight, it's okay, you know?
Wow. Okay, that's another example, as what I said, people's opinions, and look what they're doing. That's somebody's, okay, I think this is I have the right to do this. And of the opposition, they're physically doing negative stuff to you.
You're right.
That's the scary part.
It's like people don't respect each other's opinions, but if you get attacked for your opinion, then you're like wilding out.
Yeah, and it can be dangerous at times. You're not wanting your baby. It could be anything that can be wrong. Something could have, whatever. You have a million different reasons. You shouldn't hate somebody or make them feel bad about themselves.
It can be the situation you're in. It can be who you're with. It can be who you were pregnant by. It could be you just didn't want it. It could have just been a mistake. It could have been an assault. There's so many reasons that I'm like, why would you be outside of Planned Parenthood, like a hospital?
I can't believe they actually do that.
At every single location, there's people yelling at people going in.
That's terrible.
Sleepy. All right, let's do our last topic since Miss Ma'am is yawning. So for our last topic, we are going to rock, paper, scissors to pick the last topic.
Yes.
Right.
So it's rock, paper, scissors, go?
Yes.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, you're picking the topic.
Alrighty. Reincarnation.
Do you believe in it?
Reincarnation? Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of, sort of. Like, I believe that people, I don't believe that hell or heaven, it's like a specific place that you go to. I think your soul travels in whatever punishment, I guess, that it receives. Then after you finish going to heaven or hell, as the Bible and whatnot would say, then you're reincarnated. There's been studies of people who have remembered their, like, a past life that they had, and then they Google it and whatnot, and it turns out like they're, had a whole nother life that they were living, and the children are young. So
I do believe in it. I don't think that everyone gets reincarnated though. I feel like it's more of a thing where it's like, I didn't accomplish my mission type thing. I feel like there's a reason to be on Earth, and that by the end of it, you kind of find your side of things. But for people who die like unresolved, then I think they probably come back.
Yeah.
And it brings me to one of my favorite genres of manga, which is isekai, where it's almost like you're reborn into a new world, or you're transferred into a world after you die. Have you heard of those?
No, I have not.
Sophia, what have you heard of?
Jesus. So, I also believe that maybe certain traits of someone can be passed down to, for example, there's been people who have gotten donors like body parts, like a liver. Mm-hmm. It was like a lady who got an organ donation from some like Slavic or something family, and then like the lady got her liver or whatnot, and like she started to speak like fluent like Russian and stuff, and nobody could sort of explain why she hadn't done that until after her organs was donated. So
okay, do you believe in magic? Like not just like magic, but like like almost a spiritual magic, because I'm starting to think that there's a layer of humanity that the world is missing, that we're like not attuned to.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like there's a lot of stuff that I usually don't talk about to random people, but there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people in this world are not aware of. Like we're focused on one or two things, whether you're a liberal or a conservative, when there's like a whole different game that's being played on. Spooky at times, I guess.
Yes, high key, like I've had a couple of those instances in my life where I thought that I was reborn, because one, it's like sometimes I don't feel like my personality matches who I am on the outside. Like I was born feeling some type of way that doesn't really match my experience growing up. But I've gotten to the point in life where I can kind of like merge them together, where like if I want to wear fancy glasses, I can wear fancy glasses, and I can wear wigs, I can wear like bright colors, and I used to just wear dark colors, and I would like braid my hair, and I would just be like very doom and gloom, because I thought that I had to like fit the situation I was in, even though I'm like, am I making sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
No, it makes sense. Like the things that you're wearing is matched up to how your personality is, and
yeah. So like growing up, because like my childhood was like a little sad, I had a single mom, I thought that I was supposed to like dress dark and be sad, and like I should let my circumstances define who I am.
Yeah.
But as I'm older, I'm like, I can be happy, I can be bright, I don't have to be cynical, you know? Like just because bad things happen doesn't mean that all bad things are going to continue to happen. And I got this feeling that like what's happening now is just a pattern. Like it happens every 50 years, this revolution-ish shit. And so like
they call it the Great Awakening.
Yeah.
They say. But yeah, Cheyenne, I definitely agree with you on that. It's like a cycle that goes on and whatnot.
It's like life
like
is continuous cycles.
It's like, yeah. And you could sort of see the shifts that are going on, like the eclipse.
Mm-hmm. And like
a lot of people started freaking, just started going nuts, crazy. After the eclipse, like the whole Justin of politics and stuff, it went from a major shift. I think, wasn't that in 2016, the year Trump got in?
I remember they were handing out those like dark glasses on campus, but it was like 2017, 2016. Yeah. It's really early.
I think that was in his I think his third year or whatever. But yeah, I think that all means something.
Yeah, and it's like math is almost like the biggest piece of evidence, I feel. And it's just like when I think of the patterns of the world, and it's like open my third eye. That was part was a joke. But it was like, it feels like everything's connected, and like no matter what I do, I can only control my part. So we'll try not to stress about everything else.
They said like the moon was like a chunk of another planet that had hit. But they call this the big, what was it, the whammy, and then the double whammy and all that is explained in school. But
I thought the moon was part of the Earth that got knocked off.
Well, yeah, that's what they said. But there was supposedly like a long time ago, there was like a big planet that was, it's a lot bigger than Earth, of course, that had was making its way through here, and it passed by every so many million whatever years or whatnot. And that's where they had the whole 2012 thing. It wasn't supposed to be like, oh, this is when the world's gonna end. It's like, just as Cheyenne said, like a cycle that repeats itself. This is supposedly when that planet was up.
Remember when there was like a comet scare every year when we thought the world was gonna end?
Ever since after 2012, they would do that
every year since 2012 has been a nightmare.
It always would be in December.
They're like, it's time to end the Earth. And then, this is just nope.
But I think that's where they get that whole, oh my God, the planet. You've heard of Pangaea, right?
Yeah.
So they said that the Earth was like all clumped up together, and then tectonic plates like spread it apart.
Mm-hmm.
So from research that I've done, there was, I believe that at some point in time, or maybe I'm wrong, there was 2 other land masses called Atlantis and Lemuria, which is also mentioned in the Bible. So there was 2 extra land masses.
So 3 altogether, like Pangaea.
No. Okay, so imagine Pangaea. Take Pangaea out. It has nothing to do with Pangaea.
Okay.
I personally don't believe the continents were all crunched up. Just think of how the Earth is today, but with those 2 extra land masses. So they said Pangaea had all the continents basically clumped together, as you could sort of imagine. It's not in Pangaea, but imagine that the continents were always like how they are right now, but there was 2 extra land masses, big land masses. This section here, which is the east side of the United States in the Atlantic Ocean, was taken up by a continent called Atlantis. And Lemuria was the other landmass, which is of course mentioned in the Bible, that took up like the Indian Ocean sort of here and connected it to Australia, to Antarctica. There was a war going on, and that caused the deluge, which is mentioned in the Bible, the whole flood thing. Mm-hmm. That flood, or Noah's Ark, whatever you want to call it, sunk those 2 land masses under. So that's why they have, Atlantis or the Bermuda Triangle. Oh my God, if you fly through there, planes and stuff like that don't make it out.
I gotta look into this.
Yeah, check it out. Atlantis and Lemuria.
I have always wondered why people have talked about Atlantis, because I'm like, was there evidence? Like,
they even named the freaking ocean Atlantic. So
yeah, I'm like, where is it?
In the Atlantic Ocean.
R.I.P. So I appreciate you, Sophia.
Oh, well, thank you.
She did this very last minute. I rescheduled like twice, and
I'm here.
She made it. Anything that you want to promote or advertise or say before you go?
Stay healthy, stay safe, and subscribe.
Thank you. And have a good day. Bye.